Today I would like to talk about common mistakes that delay the spousal sponsorship applications in Canada. We have been doing immigration and mostly spousal applications, spousal or common law applications for years now, and what is important for us is to have a complete file for our clients to get their approval as soon as possible in a shorter time, to have a complete file. The reasons that I decided to talk today about the delay in the applications, one of them is missing forms or signatures, because we have seen many cases that the clients called our office and said that the sponsorship application was turned down or was returned because it was incomplete. So one of the most important reasons is that the applications are not signed, or sometimes the forms are completed wrongly, like a wrong form, for example, has been filled out and already submitted. So this is for sure gonna delay the application because the officers need a new form, they send it back to you. Most of the time they return the whole package and ask you to submit it again, which obviously you lose some time here. Sometimes they send you back a form and ask you to update it and then sign it and send it back to them. So this is one of the most important things that you need to consider, and you need to be very careful about it if you want to do the application yourself or if you want to get help from anyone to doing your application. What we do here is to make sure that everything on our part is complete, correct, and accurate. Another thing is insufficient proof of relationships. It means that when you want to apply for a spousal or common law sponsorship, you need to show that the relationship is genuine and everything is correct. The relationship is not only for you to get your papers in Canada, you are actually doing that because of love. So it's very important to have enough proofs to show that this relationship is real. The proofs are different, like proofs of address, proofs of showing that, for example, you travel together or you are living together, everything to make that relationship real for the officer. And if something is not complete in these types of application, what's going to happen is that the file is going to be turned down because an officer is not satisfied that the application is complete or the relationship is genuine. So then you need to appeal it, which is obviously another cost, another timeline. So it's better to have a complete file at the first step because it's going to help you to get your PR as soon as possible in Canada. So this is another important thing that you need to consider. Another thing sometimes is like missing fees or incorrect fee payment. And we have seen this again because people do not know how much they need to pay when they submit an application themselves, or sometimes even they forget. For example, they want to submit an application for a spousal application with a dependent child, so they pay for the principal applicant but they forget to pay for the child. So that's why again the file is going to be delayed, because then they request you to pay the fees for the dependent, and then again the file is going to be processed and everything. So this is very easy but very important. You need to make sure that you are paying the fees based on the number of applicants in the file, so your file can proceed and no further delay. Because whenever something is missing, they're going to pause the application, send you an email, then you need to respond to that email, then they put you in a line again, and those kind of times that are going to be waste. Another important thing is outdated forms. What I mean by that is that some of the forms that you send to Canada Immigration, of course, most of the forms are online, but some forms are paper forms, and it's very important to download the latest version, because if you send an old version, Canada Immigration doesn't accept it, and that's why they send you back the forms and ask you to update it or send the updated version, fill it out, sign it, and send them back the form again. So it's very important to make sure that everything that you are doing is in the best way possible, so you again avoid the delays. Another thing which is important is address and contact information, because again we have seen cases that when people did the application themselves wrongly, they put their email address wrongly or misspelled something, and then they couldn't get the updates from Canada Immigration, and after a while they realized that, oh my god, something was wrong on my email address or my phone number, and that's why they cannot be updated of anything. Again, another reason for the delay in the applications. Another thing which it rarely happens but happens is the wrong application types, because for a sponsorship we have inside Canada and outside Canada, overseas applications. So it's very important when you want to submit an application to clearly state that your application is from inside Canada or outside Canada, because there are two different types of applications. And then it's very important for you to have the related forms and documents based on the type of application. So no further delay in your application is going to happen. Another one is some crucial and essential documents. For example, police clearances or police certificates or medical exams are the most important documents. For example, if in a file a police certificate is not submitted, Canada Immigration will return the application, the whole package, because something which is important is missing in the file. So you must follow the guideline of Canada Immigration for those documents to have a complete file, and then avoid returning back the applications to you and resubmit them, and those kind of problems that always happen. So you need to be very careful about all the documents and essential things that you need to have. Another thing is, if there is any kind of request from Canada Immigration, maybe they ask you for your medical, maybe they ask you for your biometrics, maybe they ask you to update a form, or maybe some other information, it's always good to have them completed as soon as possible and send them back to Canada Immigration, because some people just postpone it to the last final days, which is stressful. And then the sooner you submit all the requested information and documents, obviously the sooner your file is going to be processed. And the next thing is inconsistency in the informations and that, like, your background history, whatever Canada Immigration already had about you, and also your personal information, whatever you put on the forms. It's very important to always answer the questions carefully, accurately, and truthfully, because if at any point Canada Immigration realizes that, like, the information that you are giving is not correct, they can turn down the application, they can refuse you, and in some cases even they can put you on misrepresentation because you are telling lies to Canada Immigration. So please and please and please be careful that the application that you submit is complete, is everything that Canada Immigration needs it. And for example, if you are submitting any kind of documents which is not in English, we need certified translation of the documents in order to send it to Canada Immigration, because that's the only way that they accept the documents. Therefore, you see that these are all different reasons that the file can be delayed. We at SEPIMMIGRATION, what we do during these years generally is to help our clients for a spousal or common law application, even same-sex applications, to have a complete file. We take care of everything. Like, you don't need to worry about anything, because we're going to give you a checklist. You give us the documents and everything that we need based on our experience. We have a complete file for our clients, so they don't need to worry about these things. But in case you would like to submit your file yourself, it's very important to pay attention to these details that I told you today in order to have a complete file, in order to have a less stressful process and smoothly get your permanent residency in Canada. If you have any questions about your spousal or common law applications, you can be in touch with us through our social media or website of the company, or our YouTube channels, or our email address. Thank you and have a great day.